All right. Good morning again. So it's gonna be Heather, Liz, Meridian, Tasha, and I guess if y'all see someone else who joined in the chat, just give me FYI because I don't even bother looking at the chat. All right, you're first, Heather.
Okay, you are the project manager for a large government services company. You are currently managing a project to provide data center infrastructure, cloud and co-location, recruiting, staffing, training, software, and technology security services. What is the ideal percentage of project work to be measured using the level of effort approach? 15%, 0%, 24%, or 14%? Oh my gosh, I don't know what level of effort approach is.
Me neither. and I glimpsed at it too, and I still don't know.
I guess I'm gonna go at 15% because those other ones aren't really like rounded numbers. So I don't know. I'm taking a guess because I don't know. I don't recall what level of effort is.
I agree. Let me make a copy of this because I hate. Sorry, y'all. I should have done this before. I hate having to go over work that I've done. It's just I don't have the time. When I type it. Okay, so this is Heather, and I'm just gonna say yes to whatever you're saying because I do not remember this. Let me put this in the chat, so just in case y'all want to drop notes on this and have it for future reference, y'all could drop your notes on this. All right, that's been done before. Answer is B.
B. Okay, so 0%. Planning, schedule management, having 0.
Oh, thinking B.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, so Liz, your turn.
You are the project manager for a large construction company. You are currently managing a project to make major repairs to an outdated bridge system. This is a new project for this company, and you want to ensure all the necessary activities are documented. So far, your initiation and planning process group activities have been going well, and you want to maintain this momentum. The outputs for defined activities are A, WBS charter, B, activity duration project schedule, C, activity list, activity attributes milestone list, D, schedule baseline, the output for defined activities. C.
Yep, I agree.
Schedule activities. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so Meridian. You're on mute. Did we lose her? Oh, she's on mute. I don't want to unmute her. She's probably talking, so I'll do it. Oh.
Hey, sorry, I was, can you hear me now? I just switched to different headphones.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want me to read through this one?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Unfortunately, your company is notorious for having a low level of confidence in activity duration estimates. To address this, you've been working with your PMO to devise a new method of gathering and providing duration estimates using standard deviation. Now, working with your subject matter experts, you have started entering those estimates into your project activity list. For activity A, if your expected value is 120 and the standard deviation is 14, which of the following is true? A, there is approximately a 99% chance of completing the activity in 96 to 144 days. B, there is approximately a 68% chance of completing this activity into 106 days to 134 days. C, there is approximately a 95% chance of completing this activity in 106 days to 134 days. And D, there's a 75% chance of completing this activity from 94 to 146 days. Let's see. 94, 106. I think it's either B or C. And then and the standard deviation is 14. I think that's a little more than 14 is a little bit more than 10%. I think it'd be closer to C than B, so C.
Okay, I like the deductive reasoning. I was between B and C too. I'm just trying to figure out when is it 68, and then when is it 95, and then I know it has to do with 1 sigma, 2 sigma. Anyone else
Oh,
clear on that by any chance?
Oh, no.
No? Okay, so I will go with your deductive reasoning skills, Marian.
There was one question on the exam about sigma. That was it. Did I remember? Shoot.
Sigma power is calculated. Plus minus or something. Huh.
I don't quite understand this one. I'm going to take a note.
So I'm looking at this and it's interesting because, okay, I guess average standard deviation is 14. So we should just know that if they say 1 standard deviation, it's so minus and 2.
Yeah, because we had the range correct, but I don't understand the percentage chance.
Okay. Yeah, that's not. I used to be a math teacher. Like, Heather,
Oh,
I just have this
is it
interesting.
like just the bell curve thing?
It is the bell curve thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a document or a graph somewhere. I gotta find it.
106 to 134. And I guess 120 was in the middle, but how are you supposed to know a 68% chance? Plus or minus 2 standard deviation. Okay. Alrighty, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. I guess when we see it, we'll get it. Tasha, in order to devise a comprehensive sequence of activities in your network diagram, you have shared your activity list with some of your subject matter experts. The senior engineers in the electronics division have noted some key safety training and certification activities are missing from the list. Now seeing the gap, you want to make sure you are creating the activity list properly, but where you have missed a step. All of the following describes the activity list except which one. A, it's an extension of the WBS. B, it includes all activities of the project. C, it is part of the WBS. D, it includes a description of all project activities. I think it's not D. Anybody else?
WBS. I think it's C.
I think the same, C.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, let's see what the answer is. Yep, answer C.
Planning.
The activity list is not part of the WBS. The activity list is produced as an extension of the WBS and includes all the project activities with description of the activities. Activities, last ones are outputs of the defined activities process. Alrighty, it is part of the WBS, but it's not part of the WBS. Okay, Heather.
Okay, you are the project manager for a large financial services company. You are currently managing a project to select and install an ERP system. Your company is risk averse and you need to have the new system operating by the end of the fiscal year. What are the inputs to define activities? Project scope statement, activity list, activity attributes, milestone list, organizational process assets, enterprise environmental factors, organizational process assets, activity list, activity attributes, resource availability, and project management plan, schedule management plan, scope baseline, EEFs and OPAs, decomposition, templates, rolling wave planning, expert judgment. Okay, inputs to define activity. I'm going to go with, let's see.
Inputs to the defined activities.
I'm gonna go with A.
I think so too.
A or B, I know it. Oh, it's C?
Schedule management
Oh
plan.
my gosh, schedule.
Schedule management the inputs to define activities and schedule.
Oh, define activities.
Oh, this is the one where it's like your plan before of the plan, not the actual like. 'Cause I didn't take schedule management plan because I thought it was too late, but this is like your preparation to create.
Yeah, I'm thinking we were in the beginning of the, okay.
Schedule management plan.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we should have also known because we define activities, you can't have the activity list because you're defining the activities at that point.
True.
But the schedule management definitely threw me off.
Liz.
When should the schedule baseline be created in the project? A, at the end of the project, then used to compare schedule performance to planned results. B, when the charter is created. C, periodically throughout the project. D, after the scope baseline is created and required resources are estimated. When should the schedule baseline be created in the project? At the end of the project, when the charter is created, periodically throughout the project, after the scope baseline is created. After the scope baseline is created and required. D.
Okay. Anyone else?
Nope, I think D too.
Me too.
Wonderful. When we know something, we know it. See, I realize that we're like, boom, we got it. When we don't, we're like, hey,
All right. You're the project manager responsible for a large global project. You're working with a new project management team. You're in the planning process group. What is the difference between a WBS and activities list? A WBS is focused on major deliverables as opposed to specific activities needed to create those deliverables. B, the WBS is focused on product scope, whereas activities are based on project scope. C, both are included in the project scope baseline, but the activities list is just a restatement of the WBS. D, the WBS is used creating decomposition where activities are created using expert judgment. I think A.
Did I hear me too somewhere?
I agree with A.
Okay. Two people on the table. Wonderful. What two items are created when decomposing the work of the project? A, activity list and activity duration estimate. B, work packages and activity list. C, work packages and sequence activities. D, estimate activity resources and sequenced activities. Decomposition. So we know decomposition happens in which one? We define activities.
Remember the lowest level of the WBS.
Which is the work packages.
Yep.
And then work packages and activity lists.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, we had this one yesterday.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, what is it?
Vaguely familiar.
And it's like these stuff keep on like repeating itself too. You're like, okay, I guess I need to know it. Notes. Remember the lowest package. The lowest element. Will you call it element, or will you call it an item?
They call it attribute. Lowest attribute of the WBS is a work package.
Sorry. Heather.
This output of the defined activities process should contain all of the scheduling activities that will be performed for the project with a scope of work description of each activity and an identifier code, milestone list, activity list, WBS dictionary, or resource calendar. Let's see. I believe it's the WBS dictionary.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, I believe it's a dictionary too.
Yeah.
I'm whistling today for some reason. The
B.
answer is B.
Oh.
Activity list. I didn't know that in the activity list it lists an identifier code.
Hmm.
Okay. I need to look up a picture of an activity list.
Girl, please. I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that.
Oh, it's like a little tree or something. Okay.
It's a hierarchy work chart kind of looking thing.
Yeah. They don't put numbers on that one.
There's one in the one to the right, I think the white and blue one.
Oh, which one? This one?
If you go up and then to the blue and white one,
Oh,
like right below it, that one has the numbers on it. So maybe something like that.
yeah. I mean, I know it's like 1.1 or 1.1.2.
Mm-hmm.
All right, wonderful. And then there's probably another example I have somewhere. I'll look for it. Okay, so instead at this point, we'll have it. Yeah, go ahead, Sarah.
You are the project manager responsible for a large construction project. This is in a new geographic location for your company and with a new client. So you want to make a great first impression. You are working through all the necessary planning steps with your project management team. You are starting to work on scheduling activities. The output from defined activities include all of the following except which one? A, activity list. B, milestone list. C, activity attributes. D, project schedule network diagrams. The output from defined activities include all of the following except defined activities. Activity list, yes. Milestone, yes. Project schedule network diagram, network, no. D.
I agree. Liz and Tosh. Because I believe PSND is what, a tool or technique?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's an output of the sequence process. So it's not a tool. Output.
The attributed milestone list. Okay.
Or an output of the sequence activities process. Sequence activities. Duh. No, I'm talking to myself. Meridian.
Which of the following tools and techniques would you use to create a work breakdown structure? A, expert judgment. B, decomposition. C, alternatives analysis. D, both A and B. Shoot, we talked about alternatives analysis the other day. I forgot. I think it's A and B though, so D.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, I agree with that.
When people agree, it's a good thing. I don't know why I didn't add what alternative analysis is, but anyway. 12, you are the project manager for a large human resources services company. You're currently managing a project to provide staffing and training services for a mid-sized aerospace company. You have just defined activities on your project. What are the expected outputs during this process? A, activity list, activity attributes, milestone list. B, scope baseline, enterprise environmental factors, organizational process assets. C, decomposition, templates, rolling wave planning, expert judgment. D, WBS, WS dictionary, PM plan updates, and milestone list. I'm going with A, just because of what Liz said earlier. I think you will agree. Like you started looking at everything else, like you're like EF, OPA, like that's not in the whatever. Okay, 13 is Heather.
You are a project manager for a large telecommunications company. You are leading a project for the installation of a new cellular tower. You are working with your project management team to plan your project. Which of the following is done after the defined activities process is completed? Plan quality management, develop schedule, estimate activity durations, or sequence activities. Okay, define which is done after. Okay, now I gotta remember my processes. Define activities. I'm gonna go with sequence activities. So D.
Do y'all agree?
I think C.
Okay. A tiebreaker?
Don't you sequence them and then estimate? And then you develop the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Sequence. Okay.
And then during sequencing, it's just placing them in the proper order. Is that correct? Correct?
Yes. Because you have a list of what needs to be done, and then you categorize how you're gonna do it. And then you develop the schedule based on that.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Liz.
It's my turn. Okay, 1 minute. You are a project manager on an international project. You have prepared a WBS reflecting all the work packages deliverables to be completed on a project and have presented it to your sponsor, but she is unhappy because it lacks the type of specificity she feels necessary for properly planning the schedule and the budget. Which of the following should you prepare to alleviate her concerns? A, schedule management plan. B, WBS dictionary. C, activities list. Schedule network diagram. Which of the following should you prepare to alleviate her concerns? Since we keep saying activity list. Activity list. We keep, activity list, C.
Sorry, I zoned out for a moment. Anyone else?
I agree.
Yeah, someone has said,
We keep saying activity list today, so I think it's activity list. Good.
I felt like it's like this is something important that we just need to remember, y'all.
Yeah, the order, the input to output.
Just need to remember this. Okay, Meridian, your turn.
You're the project manager on a large research and development project. Being first with the new technology is critical, so you often use progressive elaboration to expedite the planning process. One type of progressive elaboration occurs when the work to be performed is in the near term is planned and detailed, while the work scheduled further out is defined only at a high level in the work breakdown structure. As the task draws nearer, the amount of detail for the task is further defined. Which of the following terms defines this type of progressive elaboration? A, decomposition. B, sequence activities. C, alternative analysis. D, rolling wave planning. I think it's D.
I agree.
I'm telling you, when we know stuff, we're like, boom, done. And then when we don't, we're like, Okay. Next is Tasha's turn. Is it 15?
I have to run out, so
Bye.
okay, take it back.
Oh yeah, we only have 15. Great. So I'm gonna end this recording, and then Heather, you're gonna take over.
Okay. Let me